Hello, everybody. I think I'm doing the final rundown on this character. I had to go start my human racial TRs, so I went to go play an Eldritch Knight fighter barbarian wizard. I'll try to make this one short video. So opening up the character sheet, I have 12 levels of wizard. Six fighter, and two barbarian. And jury's out on whether or not you really even need to take the barbarian two levels. Um, I did it for the improved power attack that they get, which I'll show you in a minute. Starting stats, were because this is human. I think you can only start at 18 with strength. Base 9 dex, 17 con. I didn't max out constitution on this one this time. Not real sure. We're only talking about 1 point. And I think I took the extra points as a legend build into intelligence. Started at 14 intel. Uh, wisdom dump is at 8. Charisma is at 8. Now, I guess I'll open up the enhancements tree and try to explain it. DDO has been kind, and they redid the wizard. Uh, Wizard's got a pass recently. So in the enhancements tree, they've changed some things with the Eldritch Knight and Pale Master, and now I guess what the biggest change is that you get to pick your undead form starting at um, level 3. Yeah, and it means that you can basically be any one of those zombie, vampire, wraith, or lich. And just for, I guess, old time's sake, I decided to go back to one of my old favorites, is the wraith form. Um, on this build, it doesn't have the same benefits anymore as how it used to be. In this one, you get +2 to dexterity and +2 to intelligence, whereas I think it used to be, yeah, who I don't even know. I can't remember that well. I made so many of these types of fighters. I just enjoyed it, so I took it. What I would do as a future build, like if I have to do three builds, um, is if I had to do three racial TRs of human, um, I might actually go into the vampire form for one life, even though I'm taking 12 levels of Wizzy on this. Now, even the vampire form doesn't give you strength, which is what this character is based on. The one that gives you that is the Shroud of the Zombie. Um, well, it gives you +4 Constitution. You attack slower, but you deal 20% more damage with your attacks, which is pretty substantial considering like you're not going to hit as often. So maybe I would do the zombie, I guess, is what I was thinking later. Who knows? That's all hypothetical. Um, 20% of 1,000 is 1,200. Then it multiplies out with your critical hit multiplier and everything else that you do, deadly. So if I had registered on this character so far, the highest hit's been an 84,000 um, point hit. I mean, 20% of 84,000 is like 16,000 more points more damage. So that's pretty awesome stuff right there. Anyway, also on the bottom of the Peelmaster tree, at level 6 and level 12 and level 18, you get a specific enhancement that you get to pick. Like it's no longer locked into the race to the undead form that you're in. So the one that came up at level 6, I took Undead Shock, it's called. It's a 15% bonus to electric absorption. And you no longer take extra damage from light damage spells. That was the problem before with the vampire form, was that you were taking like 300% extra damage from light. Well, now you can pick something to make you stronger against that attack, but you have to waste one of your action point, um, sort of one of the 3 that you get to modify your undead form. So that's the trade-off. The second one that I took is Inflict Wariness. It says, while in any undead shroud, your attacks inflict 2 to 9 points of negative energy damage to living targets. And on a Vorpal melee hit, means you roll a 20. Inflict 1 negative level on victims. Now, undead are usually immune to that effect, but I like that. That used to be, the 1 negative level used to be inherent to vampire, and the 2 to 9 damage on there used to come from lich form as separate abilities, but now they've combined it. So what I would do in the future is, like I said, go into the zombie for the extra con and still take that hit probably. I'm just going to look at that zombie form again. I guess they'd all be pretty good choices, because also along with the vampire form, your melee attacks have a chance to heal you for 1d3 with negative energy per wizard level. So that's another option. Pretty cool. As well as all of the forms still give you a base 100% crit hit resistance. And now the healing from positive energy is like healing a Warforged back in the day. You get 50%. So even if you are running around in undead form, clerics can still heal you for, half with positive energy. So don't feel like, oh, well, it's undead, I can't heal it. Yeah, you can. It's just not as efficient. Just not as efficient. Okay, so in the Pale Master tree, 23 action points spent. Taking these negative energy crit modifiers up, or crit chance up. I did take another point of Constitution out of there. And then on the 4th tier of the Pale Master, you have an option to pick another undead shroud if you like. So even if you did make a melee and you didn't like, your original choice here all the time, you'd be able to switch off between 2 of them in game. Kind of neat. This unholy avatar up here, it's something that says when you strike an undead with a damage dealing negative energy spell, it leaves a lingering weakness to negative energy that bypasses an undead's natural resistance to negative energy. So you're no longer healing them with your aura. But I never really cared too much about that. It's kind of funny. Healing an enemy while you're attacking it with melee was a good time back in the day. It still is. So, in the Frenzied Berserker over here, it's got two action points. One is for the Die Hard feat, and you stabilize when capacitated. The next one is for an extra rage. I didn't have enough points to get into these trees like how I wanted to. That's why I'm saying the jury was still out. I mean, it's like what's the difference if you go dump the rest of those what is that, 6 points into the Kenzai fighter tree? At least you could get another couple of damage out of your weapon group specialization. I don't know if you'd even be able to make it up here to get opportunity attack out of it. So, fifth tier is all the way into the Eldritch Knight tree. Bam. And it's because of this strike up here, the Eldritch Tempest strike. This is a uh, for any of your weapon attacks, it's technically a spinning. Like if you had a sword and board in your hand, you would spin and do a blast. But it's a 5 times weapon multiplier and has +10 to its critical threat range and a +3 critical multiplier on top of it. It's a slow cooldown, but that strike is how you get your high strikes out of this build. That's how I got 87,000. It stacks with your weapon multipliers too, so it's pretty awesome. And then, oh boy, this is going to make the video a little bit longer, but the Knight's transformation is on. Uh, this has the ability of giving you a base attack bonus that equals your character level, essentially for melee. And then you also gain a +5 to hit with weapons and a 3% extra double strike chance. And some bonuses to your spell critical damage, but I don't care about the spell end of this. I care about getting that double strike and the attack bonuses and the other things. I always have it on. It's over here on the right of the screen. There's the form, Shroud of the Wraith, the Knight's transformation, and right directly under that is defensive fighting. Defensive fighting already shortens the range of your spells. You're not a caster. You're going in as a melee. So, hence the reason why I dumped Intel down to 14. You only really need it for spell points and for, just whatever the heck else you want. Because you're not going to have DCs for dice checks on evocation spells or CC or anything like that. Most of my spells, again, are just self buffs. GH, blur. So 40 points in this tree, Eldritch Knight. Couple points into human over here. The actions to surge strength. It's like when you use an action boost, you're gaining one of your stats. You can pick whatever you want to do for human. And I took strength on this. Didn't have enough points to go up and get con every time I do an action boost, but oh well. Started out with the human melee and range power and the human versatility thing for the racial enhancements. And then along the way, there's one that you get in the Eldritch Knight tree for spell power. But since it's an action boost, I took it just in case I run out of the other ones during the course of a quest. I can still pop that, and it's going to give me the bonuses of strength on top of it, even though it's 4 spells for spell power. And then grab the haste out of Kensai Fighter. This is the one that I use the most. Speed up that attack. But every time I do it, bam, I get more strength. I think that's clear on here. What's interesting with Strike with No Thought was you could take this with 6 levels of fighter and you get a competence bonus to critical damage multiplier. Well, since it's a competence bonus, that's what the bonus is for improved Knight's transformation. So it didn't matter. They weren't going to sack. Okay, I'm going to close this down. Those 3 boosts are right here on my hotbar center stage. I'm going to close this down and open up a look at the character sheet again here. I think I had gone over some of this previously in another video, so I don't want to bore anybody, but this fortification number then is gaining that 100% just for being in undead wraith form. So I'm at 318% fortification on this. And basically a standing no buff 138 AC. Oh wait, I do have improved shield on and improved mage armor. So it's not really standing. These are innate SLAs that Eldritch Knights get. Oh god. See, I forgot something. In the Eldritch Knight tree along the way, one's first tier, improved mage armor. And the second one is improved shield. So I mean that's handy when leveling up along the way because one is gonna block magic missiles and you don't need to have another item specific for it, and giving you extra PRR with improved shield, and then improved mage armor to get an exceptional 10% bonus to your total armor class. Like hell yeah, I'm in. Along the bottom, what they did not change is oh god, did they change it? They changed some of it. Your arcane spell failure from equipped armor with 2. I mean, with wraith form up to level 12 is giving you a minus 15%, and then a minus 20. And I don't know if that's stacking right now. Because I had geared this to get to use heavy armor instead. But up on the 4th tier of the Eldritch Knight you already get proficiency with medium armor. Now, from levels 20 to 28, I ran with heavy armor on, and I still needed a 15% slotted arcane spell failure to get over the spell failure requirement still, even with that 35%. And the only reason why I'm wearing medium armor right now is because I don't like any of the heavy armor that's available for this build at these epic levels. That's a matter of choice if you want to. I had no problem getting up there to wear heavy because I knew that I dumped dexterity. You're not gonna have that high of a reflex save anyway. So then you're just trying to max out your PRR and MRR and armor class. So yeah, here I am anyway though with medium armor proficiency. I might even take those points out of there, out of that enhancement tree, and use them somewhere else because it's almost useless to even uh, if you can already get over the proficiency on it and open up my inventory. The only thing that you're going to get is a -4 armor check penalty for the heavy. So, I did this specifically just to wear the Crypt Raider set, which is a medium armor, uh, and the Blood Rage Chisholm, which is giving bonuses for holding two-handed weapon. I think this is a set that I would wear too if I was going to do that quarterstaff build. It's a lot of fun. It's just been fun. Okay, opening up spells. I wanted to show spells, and this is like one of the drawbacks and one of the reasons why I took 12 levels of wizard is to get to level 6 and grab that heroism and that Tenser's transformation. So as I was saying, basically standing at 80, I do a cycle of clickies here almost before every fight. And the first thing is the death aura active. Now, that's not giving me any bonus to my stats or anything, but what it is doing is it's ticking up the Force's Edge ability in enhancement. And what that is, oh god, where did it go? Force's Edge. It's like when you cast an offensive spell, you gain +1 competence bonus to critical threat range for 12 seconds. And on top of that, when you make a melee attack, you gain 5% spell critical chance for 12 seconds. Okay, we only care about that +1 competence bonus to critical threat range. Now, range is different than if I open up my inventory. Range is different than critical multiplier. It's only showing the threat range. I only have a 15% chance, 18 to 20, to hit a critical hit with this great axe. And you can see it's on there. When I hover over my great axe, it is showing Force's Edge physical. 21 seconds remaining. But it also goes for the duration of my spell. So it's like a mute point. This Death Aura, even the lighter one, counts as an offensive spell. So it's keeping that active the whole time. And there, I have put on both auras right now, showing what it's critting for and what it's not critting for. So I'm getting about 380 for the big death aura on a crit. And it looks like around 90 on a crit for the lesser death aura. Okay, and I guess while I'm chatting here, I just want that to go off. So I'm just gonna let it run down before we go into anything else. Well, I could open this up while that's ticking down. I don't know how much time it's got. It looks like the little recording symbol is over my things again for the XSplit Videocaster. Anyway, all these spells, and I think I went over this again. Most of these don't even matter at these levels. I like the D-Door and the Teleport for convenience. True Seeing, you know, sometimes people need it. I need it sometimes. Displacement, of course. The haste is negligible. I mean, I already have permanent blinding speed as a feat. The rage matters. The gust of wind matters. Knock, utility spell, invisibility if I need it. The sonic blast don't matter at all because I have to be right on top of people to cast anyway with defensive fighting on. Jump, yeah, I need that sometimes. This is a Master's Touch, which gives you proficiency at lower levels with great axes. It'll give you proficiency if you cast it on yourself with any martial weapon that you have equipped. So even at level 1, you can go run around with a great axe or whatever you want and beat on things if you got that spell without penalty. And then I also did, of course, take the negative energy burst. I still use this in quests. It's your big comeback for heals for yourself if you need it. Okay, the aura has ticked down and it's not going off anymore. Okay, both death auras are off right now. But you can see I'm still pulling about 30 positive healing out of this. And that's not a feat. That's an item. That's the last piece of the legendary green steel bracers, which is giving me half of its potential of positive healing. You remember I just went over that with the new Wizard Pass, or the new Pale Master Undead Pass. You're still getting half heals from positive. So when I put these green steel bracers on, it's ticking every 10 seconds for around 30 positive heals, even though it shows up as negative. That's also because I have positive healing amplification at 113 and negative at 217. So just something of note, it's a lot easier to heal undeads than you think now. And the other reason why I wanted to show that is it's hard to read. Is if I go in with both death auras on and that ability for 30, you know, one's ticking every couple of seconds, but then it's hard to read off the rest of your healing. I have slotted in my Great Axe Dark Hallow set, which every time I hit something, it says I'm healing myself for 2 to 9 points of negative energy, which scales with spell power. So I have like 4 different things to negative heal right now that I can't even read them in combat all the time because of all of the things getting factored in. I haven't had too many problems, even on Reaper, you know, staying alive by myself. So the fourth piece says 1d6 negative damage on a hit. This damage scales with your spell power. So 1d6 per strike every time I hit somebody with this great axe. And as an example, see again, I wish the Death Auras I had a way to shut them off, and I don't, is I'll just hit this thing to see if we can see it. And I don't even know which one it is, around 45 a hit. You see all that green coming up? That's both Death Auras, that ability on my axe, and that set of bracers still ticking off. So it's very hard to read it. There, now it's off. And that showed around 79. That showed 45. That was a 94, and then the 30 from the bracers. A 63. Another 63, so it's right around there, maybe, I don't know, 70. 63 and 97. It's just crazy. I can't even tell half the time what's doing what. Okay. Next. AC showing at 121. Basically, I will now, it looks like my greater heroism and those shield clickies have come off. So I will begin the cycle again. Greater heroism goes on. Saves jump a little bit. Fortitude 74, reflex 51, will 47. Then improve shield. And improve mage armor. It says armor class 138. PRR 170. MRR 43. Magic resistance rating. Then Tensor's transformation brings that armor class up to 144. 170 PRR and 43. And strength jumps up to 84 with just those buffs on. This is pretty. I don't know. I think this is more common. I have been using Primal Scream for a +5 on top of that. Can't cast that in the boat, but I can do the Rage, which brings to 86. Yugo Pot, 88. And Con, hit points jump to 1965. The Haste, I don't really need it, but it's usually a habit that I do that. Then hit Power Boost. Adrenaline Overload. And hit your strike at, what, 91? That only hit for 8k. I didn't do Unbridled Fury either. Now you gotta wait for a cooldown. I don't know. Stuff just usually melts. It's like if I don't get a big hit for 25k to 80 on that strike, usually I'm still in pretty good shape. Swinging away for the next couple seconds. So who even knows? Anyway, the feats. Epic feats were Divine Sphere was Holy Strike. Scion of Arborea, 20 melee power. Why did that close? Martial Sphere's First Blood. Primal Sphere, Perfect Two-Handed Fighting for Epic. Blinding Speed. Master of the Dead. Overwhelming Critical. Barbarian feats you just get them innately. Barbarian Rage. That's my rage down here. And what's interesting of note is this Barbarian Rage has no, there is no listing for what category of strength bonus it is. Therefore, it stacks with the morale bonus from Primal Scream. So you get 5 from extra strength and con for 3 minutes from Primal Scream. And then your Barbarian gives you another, your Barbarian Rage gives you another +4. So that's 9 points higher in the strength, and I don't even think that that 91 is accurate. Let's see, do not have very much done there. Martial feats or fighter feats. I have heavy armor training already, but I'm not wearing heavy. That give me another 3 PRR and MRR. Weapon specialization slashing. Of course. It's giving you more melee power for those feats. I'm not sure where this quick draw is. Oh, quick draw comes from being a wizard now. It's in their enhancement tree. Martial feats, I did take cleave and great cleave, power attack, and power critical. There's the other weapon, focus slashing. That's a fighter feat. And it looks like I did take mental toughness as a meta magic, extend spell, heighten, and maximize. I did not take insightful reflexes. No, I'm just eating damage again. We're not dodging nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the epic past lives or heroic. I'm not going to be bragging about all that. I wanted to show this time around I did take the blinding speed so that my haste is negligible. It's only for others around me if they need it. And then again, that's a spell that could then be swapped out if you wanted to be a little bit more selfish with your gameplay. And what the heck else was I going to show that made... Yeah, Master of the Dead. This is it. Okay, this is gaining you extra caster levels. They gain +10 to the maximum caster level, like on your negative energy burst, greater death aura, and chill touch. I took this specifically to get more heals out of this. So that's a crit. 349 is about 350 and 170 if it doesn't on the greater. If it doesn't crit. So pretty much had those running all the time. Spell powers. Spell powers, the only real important one is the negative, and that's at 418. The negative spell crit chance is at 39. Spell crit multiplier is next to nothing. 3 on everything. So, along the way, the epic past life feats that I took are in the martial tier double strike, power over life and death. It's giving me an extra 30 positive and negative energy spell power. Enchant weapon. Colors of the Queen. What else is this? Past Life Morning Lord. Give me another 10 light and alignment spell power. I mean, I just have it active because, like, what else are you going to do? Not have it not active? The Morning Lord is up there. I only have one past life of Morning Lord on here. The second one is the Purple Dragon Knight. That's been done twice for its little group action boost here. Epic Destinies. Woohoo! I was inaccurate on the highest amount of strength that I can get because I have loaded the Martial Hymn. I have one tier 4 Twist of Fate, 1 3, and 3 1s. So I took Purge of the Wicked down here. That's from Purge of the Wicked is level 1 from Divine Crusader. That's just to +2 to confirm critical hits and +2 to crit hit damage. And then it says your critical hits with weapons cause enemies to gain a stack of purification. Yeah, little side bonus on that one, like a twofer. Next is Endless Faith, of course, to get you extra 10% to your spell pool. It's probably the only reason why I'm at 2100 spell points. These are all for me. Extra action boost. This is from Legendary Dreadnought, and it is a tier 1. It looks like I got 13 clickies down here for that, for action boost. Again, giving me another strength bonus when I use this anytime I use an action boost, so why not boost them up? What a great idea. Blessed Blades is Divine Crusader ability, 3rd tier, and it's treating my weapons as my alignment for damage reduction bypass purposes. So on my character sheet, which is still open, I am chaotic good, which means I can bypass chaotic and good alignment DR. You know, that's up to you. These are all things that are up to you, whatever you want to do. The Martial Hymn is something that's been redone recently for the Bard Epic Destiny Fate Singer. And up on tier 4, they've reworked these. Like there's a Primal Hymn. You can sing one of these. They can give one of these out to one person in their group, either themselves or other people. And there's also a Divine Hymn, which would get, one more strength, charisma, and wisdom. And some other bonuses there that would work. It gives me a bonus to negative spell power if I wanted to use that one too. The one that I took is the martial one. 20 maximum hit points, plus 10 PRR and MRR, plus 5 armor class, and 10 melee and range power. This song also has a pretty good duration. I will sing it here. You see my strength jump to 83 there quickly. and I can't see how long it lasts. It's like 19 minutes. What's the other thing that's interesting about this martial hymn or any of them is they can't be dispelled by beholders. It's a song. Then I am in Fury of the Wild as the base. Uh, this is where my Primal Scream's coming from. This is where my Unbridled Fury's coming from. And Adrenaline Strikes. Um, I didn't mess around yet. Going into Legendary Dreadnought, I might, because I'm staying up here a while, just go do that just to have some fun, see what that's all about. But interestingly enough, I did not take fast healing here because it's showing as um, a positive energy healing, which would still work for half. But then at that point, to me, there's no point in wasting it. Then if I'm only at half heals for it, no, that's an option. You don't have to follow the same thing. Gonna keep the character sheet open to see if I did all this right now. Now we're standing at 83, and I just wanted to do all those clickies again to see what I'm basically running around at or wound out to for strength. See what else I missed. 83. Now, this rage as a spell doesn't stack with that Primal Scream, but I can't cast Primal Scream down here in the bottom of the deck. Tenser's Transformation brings me up to 89 with just that rage. My rage brings me to 93. And then you can probably add 3 to that if you're in the quest and doing Primal Scream. So that's what I'm pretty much around usually, 93. If I do the action boost, my melee power is jumping to a whopping 196. And there you go. I think that's just about where I'm at. I have another option of doing Gloves of the Titan's Grip on top of that for a minute, which probably puts me at about 102 if I don't forget it. So that's the area. It's probably around 96 is where I'm predominantly running at. Yeah, hit points jump up to like 2065. Okay, we got that clear. It's pretty, I mean, it's been pretty sustainable. And I like it. I have a lot of fun because it sort of mystifies your mind when the wizard is stronger than some barbarians in the game. So the in terms of the gear, I dumped out the Ender set the other day, and I lost a lot of uh, hit points and spell critical chance and everything. I think I was at around 2,300 base hit points just from the bonuses from that whole set, but I could not get, the rest of the character rounded out. So I had switched out. Like I said, I'm wearing the 3 pieces of the Crypt Raider set, the Blood Rage Chisholm, the Legendary Coat of the Traveler, again, medium armor. I like that set too because it gives you the profane well rounded on everything. but that's preference. The third piece of that set is the legendary Ward Inscribed Pendant. And this has a Constitution bonus of 19 on it, but I am trying to get a hold, I think, of the triumvirate, symbol of the triumvirate, or to use instead of these gauntlets of the Iron Council. This 22 Constitution is working over that, is above that 19. They're both the same bonus, so this is what's working to get my Constitution higher. And I'm gonna swap this out because I want to get a pair of the shock gloves from the Killing Time raid, so that on 20s, a bomb goes off. The cool thing about these gloves too is it's giving me extremely high spell resistance. Like, I haven't been held on Reaper. I haven't been anything. Give me showing a spell resistance of 78 right now. Um, Something to look out into. So I only have one set on. I'm using this set of shackles here for spell points, 371. These come from the Slaver's Chain, giving me a heal of 22, and my Void Lore of 27 for my 27% for my personal heals only. The quality con, yes, that helps. But since it's only one piece of the shackles, I probably got to find something down the road that doesn't, what's the point in wearing one piece if you're not getting the bonus from the set, right? Um, Another way to get quality strength was the legendary Ring of Power. This is something I'm probably going to work on to get rid of. That's a +4 quality bonus on there. The rest of the strength is coming from the legendary precision lenses. These are from the chain, I believe, in House J. And I'm also wearing the base helm from there, I think, or yeah, Trace of Madness is still on it. Strength 19. So there you go. There's your insightful, your base strength, and your quality with 3 items. I just couldn't find anything better yet. Um, the legendary Shattered Onyx, this comes from the Sharn. This is giving me insightful intelligence 10. The profane spell focus 2 doesn't even matter. I mean, again, we're not focusing on DCs. I get insightful resistance out of this 8. The dodge chance doesn't matter on it. Again, I'm a 12% to dodge base anyway, not a dex and dodge guy on here. Two pieces for healing amplification. The legendary Black Velvet Capelet is giving me a base intelligence of 21, but it has greater boon of undeath on it. It says, every time a character wearing a boon of undeath item is struck in combat, an inflict moderate wound spell will be cast on the character. So I have 2 items like that to help heals. The other one is the legendary Festering Mummy Wraps. So I'm getting 2 greater boons of undeath on top of all the rest of that healing. This is probably the other reason why I haven't had problems on Reaper 3. But it's very hard to tell when this goes off in comparison to the rest of all those healing abilities or negative healing abilities. Something of note. So I doubled up on it just because I know I'm a frontliner. I'm going to be hanging out, right in the vicinity of some pretty hard-hitting enemies. So odds are you're probably going to get hit. It's hard to get hit with 143 AC though directly. Biggest thing is spells. Uh, I think that's the rundown on this character. Uh, it's again not for everybody. Half orc. Um, Half orc would be the way to go, but unfortunately my racial TRs on half orc are done. I might even take this build into a constitution based dwarf when I do dwarf lives. They get bonuses to great axes. Or a two weapon fighter. Um, I'm sure that with the dwarf and their constitution, we would have a boatload more um, hit points out of the build. So if you wanted to do it, I know that human can't start with a base 20 strength, so you're already a little bit down from what the rest of the super high end melee are at in the game. You know, you're already going to be a little bit lower than that, but to get through this life, I had an absolute blast. Still having fun. I think I'm going to stay up a while and go farm gear and whatever else. Um, the other thing I wanted to cover mostly for guildies was I just clicked on the threads of fate. I have another 600. Been doing raids. That's what the purpose of having this character up here is for. Um, you double click on that your thread, and it's giving you a list for dual imbue shards. Right now, I'm hovered over the purity, uh, flames of purity, and no, it's purity and touch of grace. Again, these dual imbued shards here, they start out at 250 for the non-rare, but it counts as a piece for both sets, no matter where you slot them. This is something I was trying to write into our XDeus page. Well, I went and ran a bunch of raids, and I am using now. What do I gotta wait 20 minutes for that to come up? This is a long list. Can't modify it. Maybe I'll
You
just show
can't
it
put
right here.
aside the inevitable.
Okay, I have dual imbued Sucker Punch and one against many, the strength rare. So this imbue here, this filigree is counting as one for both sets. Now, it's not lit up all blue right here, but when I equip it, it will show it if I can wait for that scroll to get down to the bottom. So then here's a Sucker Punches in there for strength, and that's a rare. Next to the rare Sucker Punch, dual filigree, strength. Okay, so I've only got two pieces of that on, and then with the gloves, I am I have started on the one against many on the other side. I have two pieces in there.
It is
And
time.
then while it's on,
Feeding time.
if I just hover above my gauntlets here, the gloves, one against Benny is lit up now showing three pieces equipped. I don't have all the experience maxed out on these gauntlets yet to get the fourth for one against Benny. And then now we got to wait for that long scroll on Torn. Boy, is that axe ever a big deal. Um, the vulnerability effect is your prime time to hit those big strikes. It's adding 1% more damage, which can stack up to 20 times. Vulnerable. And that's what was good about that Shroud set was one of the Ender sets was giving me a higher damage output for melee. Okay, shows Dark Hallow, one set, and then Sucker Punch is on this side. I only have two done out of it. The third part of Sucker Punch would be another 1d6 sneak attack damage. So I'm just doing this so that I can wear three sets eventually out of the filigrees. Something you would have to do and tweak on your builds uh, with the dual imbue combinations that are there for the filigrees might be different. Um, Again, on this set, it's the only other reason. Just opening up my bank here. The only other reason to wear the Ender set at this point is to give you a bonus to critical damage in hit points, and your hit point total will jump through the roof. So it is possible that while wearing the Ender set, and with the vulnerability effects, that I could hit for higher than 87,000 than I did. It was showing a higher crit damage percentage on top of whatever I did when I crit, like 9%, I think, or something. So that's the drawback of what I put down. I put down more offense to be more well-rounded in the character. So that's something. That's how DDO makes you make choices. And I think that's it. I'm still going to be up here playing on this. I'm going to keep this character up here a while. And thank you for the rundown, I guess. Enjoy your undeads there, guildies.